and I identify as a lesbian.
Hi, I'm Zachary Gallen, and I'm bi.
My name is Lizzie Newtig, and I identify as a homosexual female or a lesbian.
I'm Joelle. I'm bi. I'm 17. I'm actually bi.
My name is Ethan Weinstein, and I identify as straight.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and I'm gay.
I'm Danny Gore, and I'm a homosexual male.
Bisexuality means that I'm attracted to both genders, boy and girl.
I like girls. I don't really like boys. I mean, yeah.
For me, and I think for all homosexuals, homosexuality is the attraction to the same sex.
I lean more towards liking women than liking men, but I am attracted to people of both genders, and it kind of goes back and forth.
I think I've known since 8th grade, I guess, when everyone else was starting to have feelings for boys, and I just didn't relate to that, and I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I started crying a lot.
In an ideal world, when you figure out that you're attracted to the same sex in lieu of the opposite sex, it should be just as much as a realization as a straight child who realizes that they're attracted to the opposite sex. I feel that's the goal.
A lot of people will tell me like to, grow up hair or to get my dress out of the closet, or even like, stop being a pussy. Stop being a pussy. And sometimes it's not like very, sometimes it's not very malicious. Sometimes it's not like, they mean to harm me. But sometimes it does hurt a little bit, kind of, to the feeling that even though I'm a man and that I'm, by definition, I identify as male, or sexually I'm a male, but that people might think that I'm not, or that I'm not the stereotypical straight male.
I would go into these waves of really, really happy, a lot of happiness, and then I'd go into these lows where I'd be at home on my bed and wanting to say something and wanting to experience freedom or liberation, because I felt so closed off, and I felt like I couldn't be with people that didn't know about my sexuality, because I wouldn't be able to be open, and I wouldn't be able to talk freely with them. And so it just was this giant weight on me, and it was terrible.
Once I understood that I was a homosexual, I had such a deep hatred for myself, because I was a defect. I was society's reject. I wasn't normal. I wasn't, I wasn't the ideal guy.
There definitely is homophobia in our community, and I think that some people assume there isn't, and that's just not true. An example of homophobia I've experienced, this is something that was pretty upsetting to me, is the use of words like faggot in day-to-day conversation.
People don't really take into consideration the romantic part, that I can be in love with a woman and I can be in love with a guy, but nobody really focuses on that.
The prevalence of just low-key homophobia that makes you try to shut it up for a couple years, I feel like it almost delays some level of social development.
The other day, I had actually told somebody that I was a homosexual. It's not a secret. I've been out for a while. But this person was ignorant of that, and I experienced a reaction that was so extravagant and unnecessary that I almost found it comical. First, he didn't believe me when I told him, and then he said, "Ew, where have your hands been?"
You think that I'm very confused and just into everything and down for whatever, but I'm honestly like when people think of me that way, they take my humanity out of it and my actual being as a person.
And you have to think about every little thing you say so you appear to be a different person. And you start to feel like you're living for someone else's expectations. And you can't live for someone else's expectations. You have to live for you.
And then I go to camp, and there was a bi girl and a lesbian in my cabin. And I'd never really been friends with gay people before that year, so it was really good to see, look, they're actually people. They're not weird or abnormal or whatever, they're just people.
It was so strange going from about 10 people that knew to everyone I've ever interacted with. And it was really overwhelming at first, but also really, really liberating.
And now I've reached a point by sort of being able to come out and come to terms with my sexuality where I can just be more of myself and not have to try to align with either homosexual or heterosexual or any other sexuality but what I am, which feels good.
I started researching gender after I got back from camp, but actually a best friend of mine helped a ton. I now identify as gender fluid. A struggle is that in the morning when I wake up, I spend at least 20 minutes trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. It's not like being transgender within the binary, but dysphoria is different every day for different things. It's like sometimes you want to be called he and treated as a boy, but if you ask people to do that, they'd say, but tomorrow you'll ask this, or yesterday you wanted this. It's not treated as a valid identity by many people and even LGBT people. They say, that's not real, that's just for attention. You're not really trans, you're insert assigned gender here sometimes.
Sometimes there's a time to rest on your laurels, kind of say, you know, we've done enough, we can be satisfied with this, but sometimes you have to keep going.
Other people still don't get input on how you are feeling and what you identify as.
Why do you think that the use of the word gay as an insult is so harmful to queer youth?
Because for one thing, it implies that being gay is something that is insult worthy. Like, I mean, I'm not an insult.
Talking to people lifts a weight off your shoulders. Even if you never knew that weight was there, you'll just feel so much better.
A life dictated by others is not a life worth living. Live to make yourself happy and not those around you happy, because ultimately your happiness is what's going to make your life worth living.